fans of Stormlight. And
easy to do, it seems.
I mean, it's contentious. I mean, me and you even have different opinions. So, as a caveat, spoiler alert, not going to talk about Winds in Truth because I haven't finished it, and I imagine a lot of people haven't finished it yet.
Oh, I imagine actually, I think a lot of people probably have, but like still
in our circle,
yeah.
half. So, like, I don't want to exclude the people who maybe aren't completely caught up yet.
No,
it did just in quotations come out
in book time. Yeah,
yeah. Like Rhythm of War came out in 2020, so no excuse. If you haven't read up to Rhythm of War, don't listen. Go read.
2020
or 2021.
You had all of the pandemic to read it. Yeah, what were you?
Yeah.
You could have caught up on all of Stormlight.
Let's keep Wind and Truth out of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I wanted to. The idea started with the worst of the best characters. So the best characters, I'm talking protagonists.
Yeah, main characters.
Yeah, of the main characters who actually see development, actually have context. Who do you dislike the most? And Shalon, right? not the dump on Shalon, but yeah, mine.
That's the easiest way to get out of the road.
Wait, do you think most people believe that? I don't look at any like cosplay or fandom type stuff.
No,
I know Brandon loves Shalon.
I think Brandon loves Shalon. It's definitely one of his darlings. I think most people do like Shalon. I think most people do connect with Shalon, and even I do.
Yeah, I don't dislike Shalon, but if we're talking about out of the main characters, she feels really static and also has a lot going on at the same time.
Up to Rhythm of War, excluding, like we said.
Yeah.
What growth she does have is repeated.
Almost bookly.
It feels like they have the same, and I think that happens unfortunately to a lot of these characters. And I don't know what. Okay, you're making a big series, right? And you have your characters are going through and they're growing as people. And people are always growing. Characters are always growing as people. It really, sometimes it feels really strange to have them go over what may not actually be the same dilemmas. But it kind of feels like I got left with feeling that like Shalon had the same dilemma again and again and again.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. It's like on a certain level, I see it from like a human aspect. Like all of us deal with patterns and certain things that pop up, and at least I know I do. But I don't want to read that necessarily. Like when she's not really in Way of Kings a lot, but in Words of Radiance,
she's in Way of Kings significantly.
Well, compared to Dalinar Adel,
what's got going
Kaladin,
on?
not really.
Sure.
Her and Yasna are kind of sidelined. They're more like preamble for Words of Radiance. And then Words of Radiance, she is the main character of the book.
Yeah,
and it's super great. And then Oathbringer does kind of rehash it, and then Rhythm of War is rehashing / sidelining.
So like what's her so like Shalon, her like major dilemma is like her needs for her to do what she needs to do to protect her family by like stealing from Yasna versus her having a real actual opportunity to better herself with Yasna and being her ward. And the dilemma comes from I need what I'm doing what I'm doing for my family versus what I want to do for myself. Yeah. Right? In the second book,
which is the best?
It's Way of Kings Part 2.
Oh man, I could talk for hours about how much I love Words of Radiance.
Words of Radiance is
it's so cool. They introduce like shard blades being a spren thing. It's just so fun.
I have my own feelings about like how interconnected everything gets, but like that's not what we're talking about right now.
No. Talk about anything that's going to get you fired up.
Sure.
We're trying to burn the Cosmere down.
I think it's doing it pretty well.
How much do we hate this series that we've put hundreds of hours into consuming?
That we read like 12 to 13 to 14 to 1,500 page books in a year, which, may not be, but that's the interesting thing. Our friend group, like me, I know for me, went from, and I cheat. I do audiobooks.
I don't think that's cheating.
Well, it's different than actually sitting down and reading the book itself. It is different. It's a different experience.
I'm an audio supremacist. I can get so much done while consuming a book. Like, yeah. I'm getting more things done. If you have to sit and read, I'm totally not saying this because I'm illiterate. If you have to sit and read, like, you're just wasting time.
We're called out. Oh no, the truth comes out.
I'm not saying this because I cannot read, but reading sucks.
It's okay. I can read. I can't spell. That's so, what's the worst dilemma to have?
Yeah. Socrates couldn't spell, so,
Nah, well, fuck him. He's dead.
Aw.
So, yeah, Shallan, and I don't hate Shallan, and even not to talk about anything in the last book, but, where I'm left with my feelings on Shallan is just, man, every time we go to Shallan, I wish we were with somebody else.
Yeah, that's kind of I like the character as a concept, and usually the things she's doing is pretty fun, but being in that character's head is taxing.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be in her own head.
No.
And neither do
There's
I.
no room in there. I don't need to be in there.
There's moments that are just... There's just moments that are just I don't want to disparage her, and I don't want the reason to come across as, oh yeah, there's a train outside here.
I hope that gets picked up on the recording. Heads up, there is a train.
It might. It's 50 yards away.
It's a sensitive leg. We'll find out one way or another.
I don't know. It'll be really funny.
It's a feature, not a book.
Yeah. Train living.
ASMR,
yeah. And get that peace train going. What the hell was I talking about?
Something about Shallan.
Shallan.
We'll cut this.
Yeah, we're not in her head. The things she's doing, the decisions she's making, and the way she's going about trying to fix things, and even when she meets up with other characters that give her a pep talk, Wit, yeah. Because it seems that's what he's there to do. Did that how many times did that happen? Of I need a pep talk from Wit.
Well, it happened before she was even in the story. They go back in time and show us that when she was a kid, she was talking to Wit. Yeah, but
that's later on. I'm talking about she's the character that we know she is from the current timeline.
It happens at least 2 major times with basically the same exact story taking place.
Yeah,
that wall narrative where she hears the story, then she tells the story. So I guess that happens 3 times. And I think Wit comes back and tells her the story again because she misremembers the important details of the story.
Right, her interpretation of that story and what was important.
Which seems to be part of the problem. That, again, cool character note, I just don't want to hear about it.
Not my favorite character. But if she is for you...
She is in the category of best. I just rank her as worst best. So, I think best worst.
Best worst character?
Let's move away from the protagonists. Because I have a character that I love. I have 2 off the top of my head. One of them I don't think you'll agree with me on. One I think you aren't thinking of at all.
If you're talking about worst characters, are you talking about characters that are barely there, or characters that are are you talking about antagonists?
Sliding scale. Antagonist or barely there. Or
well, those are different things because you love the antagonists.
Not Dalinar, Navani, Kaladin, Adolin. The Avengers. Not the Avengers.
Sure.
The other people. My answer is Gaz.
Best worst character, Gaz.
Yeah.
I really dislike what happens with Gaz over the course of the books.
I don't know why they drop him off a cliff, because he had some of the best character development out of any minor character.
And then he just stagnated and plateaued.
I don't think he was in Rhythm of War, like, at all.
A lot of people weren't, though.
Yeah, that is true. I have big
problems with Rhythm of War.
I have problems with it.
It's kind of it's the beginning of the slide of the slippery slope.
Yeah, it's a slog.
And this is terrible, because when you brought this up as an idea to talk about, like, I was wondering, like, dude, there are so many characters that I just will not remember. Like, I just will not remember. Like, there are tons of characters in the Barshindi that I don't remember their fucking names.
Yeah, no, I the main one, I don't remember her name. It starts with a V.
Vinley.
Yep.
Yeah. See, if I can get that, I can remember. I can access the file.
I had to give you the
But, like, I don't... what's Vinley's sister's name? The one that Eshonai.
The one that's actually, like, super cool.
Cool character.
Yeah.
I don't care for how that goes.
Yeah. And,
because we get Vinley in her place, and it's just like, meh.
And I kind of do like Venley's story.
I like it for a time. Then I get tired of it. Yeah. Which I think is my problem with a lot of the characters and a lot of the plot lines in the Stormlight, in the first half of the Stormlight series.
There's a lot, eh?
There's a lot going on. There's so much that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah. But
you got to tell all the story, because it's all important.
You know what my favorite moment of Rhythm of War is?
What?
The literal end where we see Eshonai's death from her perspective.
Oh, yeah.
I sobbed. I actually cried. I was like, this is so moving. And it was the first time that book made me feel something. And I was so upset because it's a character that's been dead canonically for like a year and a half.
Yeah. And that's why I had the opposite reaction, where I'm like, I actually don't give a shit. I actually don't care.
Why are we talking about this character?
Why are we talking about this character? Yeah. She's already dead. Like, I have like such a personal hang up when it comes to stories, and like we're dealing with a character who's dead.
Yeah.
It's just like, this character is dead. I don't really need to know any. So like,
I mean, it showed the Stormfather's a dick. Like, which is just more fun.
New?
Yeah, but it's just more evidence is kind of nice. Like,
I guess so.
Like, Stormfather's an asshole.
The High Lord. My answer would be that one High Lord who is good with money, but is a shitty High Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Who Shallan kind of like...
Saboriel?
Saboriel, yeah.
I love him.
I love him so much.
He's so fun.
And I love him and his mistress. I love them so much. I love that they're just, when they're in the battle, I think at the end of Rhythm of War, and they're just in a tent drinking. And it's just like, good for you, Dalinar. Sip, 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 sip.
Yeah. That character always reminded me of Breeze.
A little bit, yeah.
From just so aloof. Like, maybe he'll help you, but I wouldn't count on it. He's not malicious. He's just self-serving and a little bored. I love him.
I love where his character goes in the totality of it, but we won't get into that. But he would be my answer. I love Saboriel.
Another big one for me is, which is so funny, because until the last moment, and I've brought this up to you before, this character only ends up as one of my favorites because of what happens to them, and it's Elokar.
Yeah.
Elokar, I hated
his
entire existence, and then he dies, and I love him because he dies.
Yeah.
Like,
it's perfect.
A perfect redemption arc that turns into tragedy in a heartbeat, and it's such a moving moment.
Yeah.
Like, we established that we were doing audiobooks, and I remember getting to that moment and just being in the car on lunch and just screaming, going, what? And I had to stop, rewind, listen to it again, turn it off, sat in silence
Yeah.
and just several times went, "What the fuck, Brandon?"
I know. For all the shit that I personally just don't like aspects of it, like Brandon does know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He is a good writer. There's
yeah.
just things that are just really questionable. But again, I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's justifiable, but it usually lends to but do you need to do it? I see why you're doing it, but do you need to?
The character that we follow for a while that ends up in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And it's funny, I don't remember her name. I remember her little cherub dragon thing, Cheery,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that more.
Her name
wow,
is...
I don't care at all.
She gets a whole mini book about her. I still don't remember her name.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care at all about this character. It's not necessary in this story. If you want to give us bits of her in your own book, that's fine. But there's one moment in, I think it's Oathbringer, where we get her perspective of what's going on down in.
Well, she's there when the jewel gets.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a cool perspective. And that scene only really works because you've introduced that character beforehand. But I don't care about her. I don't care about her or the captain.
Name.
Yeah, exactly.
I do. I laughed when she jumped off of the top of whatever she was on and broke her legs.
What a
That's pretty funny. Great negotiating tactic. And then they were like, "No, we were just pranking you. I wasn't actually sick." So she literally broke her legs for no reason.
Yeah. Which is,
and I don't think you read what is it called? Dawnshard?
Dawnbreaker.
I don't know.
I didn't read it.
I got somewhat into it.
I read the one about Lift and was like, wow, this is really superfluous.
I liked the one about Lift, but yeah, not necessarily super necessary. But so the Lopen is kind of one of the co-main characters of it.
Yeah.
And there's this great scene where he's like, "Oh, you look at me arm? I didn't used to have this, but then I became a Radiant. So maybe you should just become a Radiant and your legs will work again." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll just do that." And he's actually trying to convince her to become a Radiant.
My favorite thing about Adolin is that up until Rhythm of War, in going into the ending of Rhythm of War, Adolin is able to do all this amazing shit without being a Radiant, and I think that makes him the best character.
Oh,
of all of them.
I would agree. I he's just the best. He's set up as this character who, when you're introduced to him, he has this air of a Prince Charming character that you're going to hate.
Yeah.
Because of that. And you're like, "Oh, he's a rich boy, he's pompous, he's really good sword fighter, so that means he's going to be arrogant." And the more you get to know him, he's just not. He's just awesome and well-natured and well-adjusted and nice. And then you kill Sadius and you're like, "I'm not even mad." You
totally justified. Totally justified. I would have done it too. I would have done it a lot earlier, but perfect timing.
You're better than me, but I'm glad you're not that much better than me.
Yeah, no.
Someone had to do it.
I have, if we're going back to worst best,
because I was about to transition too, since you brought up Adolin. Another worst best of mine is Renarin. I don't get it. And I don't know if it's my fault that I don't get it.
That's what it ends up feeling like, yeah.
Yeah, because we get to Rhythm of War, and I'm like, I feel like I've just fucking missed something. Even though this character wasn't in 2 books. Was not in Way of Kings, was not in Words of Radiance. Yeah. And then at some point through Oathbringer. Oh, I don't know why. I just second guessed myself. The Dawnshard breaker fucked me up permanently.
Yeah.
We get to that book and he's like, "Oh, I can tell the future." And I also have a Spren. And you're like, I'm glad we got zero context for two books about this.
Zero.
And then they kind of don't give any more context at all. It has this air of like, this will be important, but it's not right now. And so I'm like, why do I care then? If it's not important right now.
And you're talking about it because, well, okay.
And then we get to the end of Oathbringer and it's like a pivotal point of the Avengers Assemble moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Renarin's in that. And like, it has only to do with the amount of context we get about it.
It has nothing to do, and in light of some things that happen in...
Yeah, I was going to say, some stuff I've read in, like, I don't want to get into book 5, but like, he does get added context, but it feels a little too late for me.
It's
like, yeah, like, why are we just now getting any look into your thought process and who you are as a character? And like he was paper thin. Until book 5. So it's like in this conversation alone, we can't even get into like the good things about him. Like ends up at the top of the worst best list.
I feel that way with a lot of characters in Stormlight. I feel that way with like Bridge 4. I was gonna say like the Bridge 4 crew is such a good crew. It's too bad that we get so little of them and they become more of like a... These are characters that started out as like we are only here until we die.
Yeah.
And like nothing. Like I don't and it's a related issue with the problem that I have with Kaladin in that same it echoes Shallan's issue that we have of we're repeating the same kind of problem.
Day.
Yeah, a little bit of Groundhog Day going on. It feels like Bridge 4 becomes less of a team and more of a bunch of cheerleaders.
Yeah, I can see that. There's that.
They were way more of a bunch of like characters and like people I cared about when they were the Bridge crew and not
like an actual team and not all leading their own things.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's that one section in Oathbringer where we like it's a whole part of the book where we get chapter by chapter of Bridge 4 point of views. And it's some of my favorite parts of Stormlight. Like just seeing oh God, there's so many names. Seeing the one guy's battle with addiction. Seeing Rock like make that decision that he needs to go home. And dude, there's so many. Like it's so fun that like I have the scenes in my head that got painted. They're so vivid. But it's like the names I can't remember because there's so many.
There's
like I remember these moments that just stuck with me.
And then there's characters that you remember that like it even gets brought up later in the book of just like they died like a long time ago.
Yeah. Like,
but I still remembered them and like I can't separate my memory. And even Kaladin can't, where he goes like, yeah, I think about all the people in front of me, and I can't help but also see all the faces that aren't here.
Yeah.
I feel their absence. And that's like a really great...
That hits you, yeah.
That's a great character moment for Kaladin, and it's a great like character like thing of like camaraderie. My issue is like I don't really feel the camaraderie the longer we're with these characters.
Well, I start to
lose it.
In book 4, like even Kaladin doesn't feel the camaraderie. Like he's isolated, completely alone.
Yeah.
Like and it ends up being like the saving grace of that book, because if he's not isolated, then he doesn't get to save the day. But yeah, it's like book 1 is just all about Bridge 4 and the struggles. And then it feels like the book outgrows them. Like the power level of the book grows, the plot of the book grows, and it's like we don't really have space for these characters that you grew to love. So we either have to send them away or kill them or have them turn evil, which is... Man, fuck Moaz, dude. Oh, man.
Hashtag fuck Moaz. I'm glad that's such a universal feeling, because, like, there are characters in media that you can be like, you can go either way on it. I think of Frank Castle, the Punisher, and going, like, you can go and say hero, mass murderer, father, war criminal.
Yeah.
And like go ping pong back and forth and still be okay with the character. Holy shit! I don't care what happened to you, Moash.
Oh my lord!
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
You could have.
It's such a great setup too, because like anyone who reads Way of Kings, like I think I was talking to Chris or someone else where I was already ahead, and one of my other friends was starting the books, and they're just like, man, Moash is so cool. And I just had to literally like stop myself from glitching out.
Put foot in mouth and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Everyone who gets to books 2 and 3 forgets that you loved Moash.
I love
Moash.
You
loved Moash.
He was Kaladin's brother.
He was awesome. And that's part of the reason why it hurts so bad. And you know, Brandon's really good at what he does, man. And he sets that up so well. He's like, you're going to love this character, and I'm going to have them break your heart in every book.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Now, it's so funny to me that, like, Brandon Sanderson can do moments like that, can write characters like that. And I know you can't be at 100% all the time for everything in your media, in your creation, but like, I guess the point that I'm trying to say is just like, when I see such competent writing in aspects like that,
not even competent, like prolific, like fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I don't understand how you could fumble so hard in other places.
Yeah.
Is that like an oversight thing? Is that George Lucas, nobody was there to tell you not to do that kind of thing?
Part of me thinks it has to be a touch of George Lucas, because who is the best writer on earth right now?
Oh, right now?
It's Brandon. Like there's
gonna say Stephen King.
No. Well, same thing, right?
Oh, he's got some dog shit books.
What's a recent Stephen King book that you enjoyed? I don't know.
Recent?
He's put out like 50. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
So Brandon's doing that same thing where I think Stephen King's actually a good comparative because like has bangers.
Faster.
Dude, you're throwing shit out. You're writing more than people can keep up with you.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously good at your craft.
Yeah.
Like as a craft,
are they all
nailing it?
Are they all gold seal?
They can't be.
No,
they can't be. Right?
But
it's part of a process.
But the ideas are at least getting out there. And you know what? I will forgive Stephen King for the fucking, what is the one with the time eaters? The fucking gibba gabbers or whatever the fuck?
There's so...
You know what I mean?
There's so many. Is that the one they made the movie about? And the movie is like really, really strange.
Ugly. In
like
the airport.
Terrible CGI.
In the airport.
Like munching. Yeah.
Yeah. They have like, they're called like the Giggle Bogglers or some stupid shit like that. Mm-hmm. For every one of those, there's a misery.
Yeah, Dome, it.
Fucking perfect, nailed it, amazing story. Yeah.
So I mean, I think you nailed it there. Like even the best, like I'm a big sports guy, right?
Sure.
Like in my mind, my personal favorite basketball player is Kobe Bryant, right?
Okay.
Like dropped 80 in a game.
I hear he's good.
His last game ever, he put up 50. Right? That same guy played shitty games. Yeah. Right? Michael Jordan played shitty games.
Yeah.
Like every greatest athlete had shitty games.
Yeah.
So I view Brandon the same way. Like you just said, you're not going to nail all of it. No. So there's definitely some stumbles. I think Rhythm of War as a whole kind of feels stumble-ish to me, but again, like it's still good. Like
I can't think of a single moment in Rhythm of War. You take that the fuck. I'm kidding. Rhythm of War is terrible. Actually,
you can't rate it like 3 out of 10 stars. Like no, you can't justify that. Like I find it boring, and I wouldn't put it below a 6.
So there's this weird thing where perspective matters. If you aren't invested, why are you reading the 4th book of a series to review it? But if you are invested, I can put it at a 3 out of 10 compared to the banger after banger after banger that was the first 3 books of this series.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's comparative. I think you do have to zoom out a little bit because
if you zoom out a little bit, like it's
compared to other books, it's still a good book. Compared to the masterpieces that came before it, yeah, no, it's not the same. But I don't think that's.
I don't think
part of me thinks that Brandon is. Yeah, like it's human. You're not going to make everything a masterpiece. It's impossible to do it. Name one person who has done it.
Well, name one series where the 4th movie is not even the best one, but on par with like any of the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't say Star Wars because that 4 was technically the first one. So
no, I think
if we're going by that, we're going by Phantom Menace.
No one would say, which I mean is the best one, but that's a different conversation.
Right. That's why we're gonna watch Attack of the Clones again soon, right?
All right. We cannot get into this right now. We literally it would derail this entire.
I have such like a transformative viewpoint on Attack of the Clones. It may be like my. If it's not, we'll talk about this in Star Wars. But if Attack of the Clones isn't my favorite worst one, I don't know what is because none of the sequels even count.
No, I don't think they count. But
because Attack of the Clones is just like a visual spectacle, and it's just like an emotional ride. Yeah. It's too bad that the first 45 minutes of that emotional ride is sleeping.
Yeah,
is like snore.
I mean, we can tie that back to. I think you mentioned it. I do think there is a bit of a George Lucas thing where you're the biggest writer on Earth. You can argue Stephen King, but like
Stephen King's just the first thing that comes to mind because he's so accomplished,
right? That's.
Like, what am I going to say? Tolkien? He's been dead for however long.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And,
that's what I'm saying right now. You can bring up Stephen King, but he's not even like popular, right? That's what I'm saying. Like popularity, it's Brandon Sanderson. Like by far the dude
for this genre of writing. Yes.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see the like books put out, like how copies sold, and see how close he is to Stephen King. I would assume King's leaps
if you put Stephen King's like top books versus Brandon's top, maybe.
I
don't even know. I don't know. I don't think you can equate that because it's such a very different.
Completely different genres. Yeah,
different genres, different amount of books, different kinds of books, and different length. Like I don't know if that's like super fair. You'd have to like.
All right, so Stephen King, 350 million books sold worldwide.
350 million.
Ignore no. Stephen King's the man on selling. All right, so let's put Sanderson in the 2 spot then, because just because
again, I don't think that
he puts out like 10 a year, right? Prolific.
Does he? King? Stephen King or Brandon?
Brandon.
Really?
Brandon is on such an insane pace. Because he has the Stormlight books coming out, right? Like the 5th one came out. Uh-huh. He had 3 other books that came out that year. And then I believe he's had 2 Cosmere books come out since then. Which means he's writing all of these things concurrently. He's not sitting and writing one and then finishing it and then writing another and then finishing it. He's writing multiple at the same time, keeping different plot threads in line.
Right. And he's got a team of people to help him do that too.
Yeah, that's not it. So yeah, to lump in the George Lucas thing, I don't think anyone's telling him no, because I think they're trying to stay out of his way, because he clearly is doing something.
Sure.
He is mad scribbling on the walls of his padded cell and going at it. That I think people are just like, yes, Brandon, what do you need? You're paying the bills? Yeah, what do you need? What do you need? And I don't necessarily think he has someone in that room with him to be like, hey, Brandon, Charles? That's a book 5 reference.
Yeah.
So we can't get further into that. But.
Yeah. I understand why that scene's there. I just don't think it's appropriate for it does. I think Brandon suffers from the same. I think the Stormlight books suffer from the same thing that a lot of the not the current Marvel stuff, but leading into Endgame. A lot of the same pitfalls and problems with a long-running series and stuff like that is trying to interject levity into areas that we don't need that.
Yeah, it's like it feels like it's just taking away from what I'm invested.
What are we doing here? Can we please get on with the actual important fucking thing that we even came to this place for? Like, I don't care that you're trying to make like a bigger message about Kaladin trying to help somebody. I don't fucking care. We're never going to hear about this character ever again, and if we do, why?
I would care if it wasn't the 5th time I've heard this exact argument.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love when Kaladin helps people, but when he has an inner dilemma for helping them, I'm like, dude, like, you can boil it down to one sentence. Just be like, and Kaladin was doing that thing again. Mm-hmm. But he helped him anyways. And then we can move the book on.
Yeah, Kaladin is like the next.
Like, there's just pages that we've already heard several times when it comes to characters.
There's entire conversations and internal monologues and arguments and problems that we hear again and again and again. And it just gets so tiring by the 5th or 6th fucking time.
Yeah.
Again, not to get into any details, but there were multiple different plot lines and characters and dilemmas and things happening in the last book where I was just like, didn't we have this scene 2 times before?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't even have to go to the 5th book for that.
No, you really don't.
Like, in Rhythm of War, we have the same-ish flashback event. I don't like flashbacks.
I think they're used terribly in the Stormlight series, yeah.
I'm very frustrated with them.
Cool. I love getting I'm
so invested in a plot, and then it drags me back to the past
20 years ago.
Like, oh my god, like that does drive me actually.
It works so well to frame the beginning of the book, because every time we start the book, there's
some things that are really cool. Like, all the prologues that are from different characters' point of view of the same night.
Yeah,
love that.
Super cool.
That's cool.
Best thing it's ever been.
Don't have a B story that happened in the past happening concurrently to the A story that I'm actually like in real time enjoying.
This is a memento.
It's like, no, I have to explain how this character is feeling in this moment by telling you what happened to them 5 years ago. And I'm like, I don't really think you necessarily need to do that. Or at least like boil it down. Like there's some areas where it kind of works. But in Rhythm of War specifically, with Venli, we jump back and forth so much that I, the person, actually don't really know what happened with that story, because we're existing in 2 places at the same time, and she's dealing with largely the same problem in both areas. And so, it's very messy.
You know what the crazier thing is? It's not like the flashbacks, at least from my memory, which is flawed. At least from my memory, it's not like the flashbacks are like leading up to the big reveal of what happened to get them like this, because we already know that. Yeah. We already know that. And it's not that it doesn't add anything to get a different perspective on what we already know, because we get that with what was happening at the beginning of the books with the assassination. We already know what happened to kick all this shit off. We don't necessarily need a different perspective on it, but those different perspectives of that same event from those main characters is really important.
Yeah, it's cool to set the mood. And with Finley stuff, like when it gets back to the point where it's the final battle of Words of Radiance from her perspective, that's really cool. But part of me is like, this entire story probably could have happened in Words of Radiance.
Why wasn't this...
we could have introduced Venli in Words of Radiance.
Yeah. Why did we wait till... Well, she was there.
We were watching Eshonai.
Yeah.
And it's like, even then, you pick Eshonai, and... well, because when we do see Eshonai, and we get Eshonai's point of view in that moment, she shifts, and you're like... all right, I guess she's an asshole now.
Yeah.
And just having that extra view of Venli would have...
And we get it where
I think words. I think it would have, in my mind, it would have obviously been cluttered. You either cut the flashbacks of Vinley altogether, or you put them as a simultaneously happening part of Words of Radiance.
If you're going to tell a story with multiple characters and multiple perspectives around the same thing happening, you've already dedicated to muddying up your story, right? And you know what? There's a funny thing. Another parallel to the Star Wars series where it was like A New Hope is basically one perspective.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You jump back and forth between like Leia versus Luke. Really? And then it gets a little more complicated where in Empire, it's like, okay, you have Luke's perspective and then you have Han and Leia's perspective, right? Okay, so now we have two that are happening coexistently in the same time, and they are connected, and they split off and come back together, and it's neat. And then you get like three perspectives, kind of in Return of the Jedi, where it's you get the rebels and you get Lando, you get but that's 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, and then Luke's off fucking doing his own
talking to
thing.
Dad,
complete own thing.
And then you get like the indoor attack. You get like the Han and Leia and Chewie.
Yeah, you have the rebels in space. You have the rebels on the ground, and then you have Luke on the Death Star.
That's three perspectives, but those and like that's starting to get a little.
Arguably, you don't need Lando's plot line. Arguably, you do not need
it's
the
not
space
really a
battle.
plot line. It's just like context for what's going on out there. But we know. But like it's Star Wars. We can't not have that.
Yeah, no, that does push the line of comprehension. I'll say 3 is probably a good max of plot lines.
How many do we have in Way of Kings? We have
in
3?
Way of Kings. Largely, we have 1/2.
We have like 3.
Yeah, I do not count Shallan's at all.
You have to. You have
to. There's nothing happening.
For the sake of argument.
She is not in 2 parts of the book.
Yeah.
She shows up, steals from Yasna, gets poisoned. Yasna says, I'm not going to kill you. I guess you can stay. And then we do not see her again. And then she pops up and goes, Voidbringers. Then that's all that is happening in Way of Kings.
For the sake of argument.
Very strong plot line with Dalinar. Very strong plot line with Kaladin.
Yes.
And then, yes, I guess, if I have to concede.
Not concede, but for the sake of argument, let's say that there are 3, with 1 not sharing as much screen time as what we consider.
Gene, if you're going to have a third plot line, that's the way you do it. Don't really have it there.
Right? Because Lando and stuff, like all that was like just, it wasn't really a plot line. It was just context for what was happening in a different area of the same battle. Yeah. Now, that's always interesting. Having different perspective of the same event from different characters' point of views, that's always really interesting. And that happens in Stormlight.
Yeah, broadly, that's what Dalinar and Kaladin are doing. You have the troops on the ground, and then you have the troops in the command.
And then you start adding to that immediately in Words of Radiance. We still have Kaladin. We still have Dadinar.
Yeah, Kaladin and Dadinar almost kind of mesh their plot lines, right? Which is love it.
And then you get more of Shallan, but then
with an actual plot line,
with an actual full through line plot going through the entirety of the book.
I do say that is her book. That Words of Radiance is her book.
Yeah.
Like Way of Kings is Kaladin's. Words of Radiance is Shallan's. Oathbringers is Dalinar's.
And about Oathbringer. Oathbringer does the flashbacks right.
Yeah. I take back everything I said about flashbacks because you're right. Oathbringer fucking nails it. Every time we go into a flashback, I get emotionally rocked.
Yeah. You're getting so much context for this character.
Yeah, because it actually changes how you feel about the character. It's like you love Dalinar so much. Yeah. And now it's like, hey, this character you love and have seen done heroic things, watch every mistake they've ever made.
You know, everything in
excruciating
detail. Yeah, every time any character gave him shit or talked bad about how bad Dalinar is, there is a legitimate reason for that. Yeah. And you get the context for it, and it only makes you understand the characters so much better.
Yeah. When it's done with Dalinar, it's beautiful. When it's done with Shallan, it makes a little bit more sense.
It's convoluted.
Because you're like, oh, okay, I see where the break is. Venli's, I feel like, is needless, and Kaladin's is way too fucking long.
Again,
Kaladin's family stuff is honestly the most boring thing to me.
Too many segments of that.
I don't care about him and his dad. His dad is just Kaladin on the other side of the coin, and like there's only so much I don't need to know
I don't need Kaladin. I don't need Kaladin's dad. He has a better dad that his sons don't.
Got a better dad.
He has a better dad as Dalinar.
Tied to the Stormfather.
Fucking Stormfather.
All right. Last thing.
Are we going back to like best of the worst?
I'm gonna wrap it up with your overall favorite character and why, and your most hated, not even least favorite, not pro meg, like which character you fucking cannot stand and why, and just start with your favorite.
Oh man, as the series went on, like it changed a couple of times. Like Kaladin was like Superman, he was so cool, and then Dalinar. Like I'm gonna say now, and as I get to the end of my sentence, I'm gonna say Dalinar is probably my favorite character.
Yeah.
If I'm going to include the context that I have from the 5th book, I go through. I think it's probably easier to say who I dislike first more.
Well, I mean, you already said your favorite.
Yeah, I think Zeth is actually my favorite, and I think it's really strange because I really don't think we got enough of him.
No,
and I think he was, again, very much like Venli, backburnered for far too long.
Yeah, I was going to say Zeth is my favorite, but like the same caveat is why I can't say that, is because there's too little too late. I wanted to see this character in book 2. I wanted to see him in book 3. I wanted to see him in book 4. He pops up in Lift's little book, but we never get enough of him.
For my hated character, at the end of everything, I would gut reaction say Taravangian, but like it's not for the because I love Taravangian for most of the series. I think it's a super interesting character, and I think how he is playing the game is I think it's super interesting. But then some things happen that make me just almost completely 180 on the character.
Yeah, it just taints it.
It's not for the reasons you might think. It's just for
structural.
Yeah. It's a structural issue I have with what the character does and how he enacts certain things.
Yeah, I think those are both really good answers.
My actual hated character the most that I fucking despise, Veil. / Radiant.
That's a really good.
I hate them. I can't really fucking
good. That's off the
stand
board.
them.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have picked that. That's really good.
I can't stand them. I hate them so much. And the whole. Oh my god, I'm getting heated.
Yeah.
Right now. You see what I mean? Like Zeth would have been my favorite character had he gotten more screen time. So it goes to Dalinar because he's the most fully fledged character, and I feel the most emotional connection with him. I fucking hate Veil and Radiant. I was like fine with them for so long, but the melodrama and the idea of like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to create an identity that does know what they're doing. Okay, but you still actually don't know what you're doing, and you're bumblefucking into good things happening for you makes me really upset with Shallan's story. Yeah. So it's not I don't like Shallan, it's I don't like the things she creates and decisions she makes.
If the Veil and Radiant stuff got solidified mid or end of book 4, would you feel different?
I don't know.
If you know how they have that moment in the end of Oathbringer?
Book 4, man, yeah.
If they have that moment in the end of book 3 where they actually like come together with their powers and simultaneously exist and have this really cool moment, if that actually like puts them back together, I think like
if that was what actually happened and not what we were told at the end of that book and not actually what happened.
And then we pick up in book 4 and they're still separated.
Yeah.
A year later. Yeah, I feel like that would have changed a lot.
You really could have had a really interesting character still having all the... Like, man, Aelin's a better person than me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that leads into my pick. My hands down favorite is Aelin.
It's a great boy.
Cannot find a damn thing wrong with him. The only flaw I have with him is maybe you shouldn't have killed Sadeas, but then look, it didn't even become a problem. So
you know what?
Cool.
It actually became the solution.
It literally, he was worried for an entire book of what the repercussions were going to be. Did not fucking matter.
Was it the wrong action? Yes. Was hiding it wrong? Yes. Was it the right decision? Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, you had to kill that guy.
You
had to kill Sadeas.
It's a very Game of Thrones moment.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because it's the character, like, even in that moment, like, you don't want him to because he doesn't want him to, and you're like, be the better person, be the bigger person. But then you hear the words Sadeas is saying, and you're like, fuck, he's going to ruin everything. No one's around.
You're such a liability.
Oh, and then he gets him.
Why did you have to be such a liability?
Stabs him through the eye, and it's so cool. And then there's the whole copycat thing after that. But to wrap that, my favorite is
the copycat thing is so fucking stupid. I hate that plot line.
And I have to say that my character that I just despise anytime that they are on screen or on page.
I'm really interested in this actually because like it's gonna be a wild pick, I'm sure.
Yeah, it didn't start this way.
It's Navani.
No, Navani's great. It is out of left field because they're not even like that apparent.
Can I guess? Can I give a real guess?
Yeah.
Is it Wit?
It is Wit.
Oh, wow!
Only because
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, it's because he starts out so cool. He's helping Kaladin. He's helping Shallan. He's helping everybody. And it's super cool. He's this mystical guy. But then he just gets way too fucking involved.
Yeah.
And then he's like... Then he's a Radiant at one point.
Yeah.
And like the walls around...
At the 10th hour, at the 11th hour, he's a Radiant as well.
And again, there like your picks, there is a little bit of Book 5 context of the walls starting to come down around the mysticism of this character and who he actually is compared to the cosmos or Cosmere in general. But it gets to this too little too late point where it's like, bro, you could have helped at literally any point in time, but you didn't want to get involved, but yet you're still getting involved, and you're fucking Yasna, and like, what are you doing? And it's just, and then at the end of Book 4, when Taravangian becomes Odium and just starts fucking with Wit, you're like, oh, your power doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you were never actually that much of a...
the walls come down completely. And again, this opinion of mine is not like a retroactive opinion. It's like a moving forward opinion. Of like, God, whenever Witch shows up, I'm like, God, you're fucking useless, dude.
Why are you even here? And
you don't need to be here.
You get a sense that the other characters that don't just love him like Yasna are just like, I'm really tired of your shit, man. Like, you could be so much more helpful than you're actually... You're pretending that
like, pick a side, man.
Yeah.
Pick a side.
Well, it's not even like pick a side. It's literally...
talking more than...
Do anything.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, and he starts helping, but it's not enough.
Too little?
And if I had to pick a secondary...
A
runner-up, much, much smaller. It's Yasna's Spren. I do not like that Spren. Don't know their name, but I'm pretty sure are evil. I will not elaborate.
You know what?
I refuse to elaborate.
A runner-up for me, all the Spren, actually.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't say Syl has not been brought up this entire conversation.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. I don't have that many issues with Syl in totality. I have more of an issue with what she represents and what the Spren represent.
Yeah.
And that's with context from the 5th book too. But like,
Yeah.
I have a
Well, we'll have to revisit this.
Yeah.
With a 5th book perspective. Do like a 5th book. A 5th book.
Spoiler chat.
Yeah, like complete spoiler video, complete breakdown. I'll have to finish it, and we can put that on there.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think that would be that'd be a good chat.
That'll upset some people.
Oh, for sure. But for this one, I'd say we wrap there.
Yeah, I think that was a good one.